Okay, everybody should be working on their do now activity. As you see on the board on your agenda when you came in, you should have grabbed the do now activity off the table. You should have grabbed the Road to Civil War graphic organizer off the table. And you also should have gotten out a blank sheet of paper. If you don't have a blank sheet of paper, you should have grabbed one of those off the table as well. So now you're going to be working on your do now activity. So here's your do now activity. It's a Road to the Civil War vocabulary. These are key vocabulary words that you'll encounter today during our lesson. So here are your directions. First thing you're going to do is you're going to read each definition for the vocabulary term, and then you're going to write down the vocabulary term on the graphic organizer below. After you write down the vocabulary term on the graphic organizer, you're going to then rewrite the definition of the word in your own words. You're going to rewrite the definition in your own words. The next thing you're going to do when you finish writing your definition is you're going to draw a picture that helps you remember what that word is. And then the last thing, after you draw your picture that helps you remember what the word and definition is, you're going to use that word in a complete sentence. So again, a complete sentence has a noun and a verb, and it ends in some type of punctuation. So go ahead. We're going to go ahead and start working on that a little bit more after I read the vocabulary terms and definitions to you. So your first vocabulary term is going to be compromise. Compromise means to settle a dispute by mutual agreement. So two sides are coming together and they're agreeing on something that they were arguing about. The next word is nullification or nullify. Nullification means a state declares a federal law null and void. So what the state is doing is simply canceling that law. They're saying it doesn't exist anymore. Your next word is sectionalism. Sectionalism is loyalties to one's own region rather than the country as a whole. So as we learned previously, the sections of the country were the North, the South, and the West. So somebody identifies more as a Southerner than they do as a member of the United States. The next thing is tariff. That's the next term. Tariff is a tax on imported goods from a foreign country. An import is something coming from a foreign country and is being taxed, which is going to make it more expensive here in America. Your last vocabulary term is secede or secession, and that means to formally withdraw from a political union. So what that basically is a state is leaving from the federal government. So go ahead now and complete that graphic organizer below. You have about 4 to 5 minutes to work on that. After 4 to 5 minutes, I'm going to start calling on people at random, and you're going to give me your definition, and you're also going to read your sentence out loud to the class. Okay, so go ahead and work on that now. All right, everybody, great job working on that do not activity and completing it, and I appreciate everybody participating and giving me your answers. You guys came up with some great sentences and some great definitions. So the main part of our lesson today is going to be learning about what caused the Civil War. So we've been learning about the Civil War is coming. Now we're going to learn about what caused it. What events led to this war that's going to kill more Americans than any war in our history. So today's learning objective is you'll be able to explain what events led to the Civil War, including the rise of sectionalism, which you just defined, the expansion of slavery, compromises prior to the war, the election of Abraham Lincoln, and secession. So now, whenever I tell you to do so, I'm going to need everyone to get in their groups of 4. You're not moving until I tell you to do so. When I tell you to do so, you're going to move in your groups of 4. So everybody, now go ahead and get in your groups of 4. You got 10 seconds to be there. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So when you guys all walked in, everybody should have grabbed a sheet of paper. So I need everyone to hold up their blank sheet of paper so I can see everybody follow directions and got their blank sheet of paper. Good, good, good. All right, so for the first part of this activity, you're going to write your information on the blank sheet of paper. So I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do. So I'm going to come around to each group and I'm going to number each person in your group number 1 through 4. So I'm going to do that now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now if you look at your Road to Civil War graphic organizer, you're going to see 9 events listed on that graphic organizer. So look at that now. Everybody should see the 9 events listed. So now, look back up here at me, everyone. Eyes on me. All right, so now I'm going to assign each one of you guys that I gave your number to which part of the graphic organizer, which sections you're going to be responsible for and what you're going to read. You're going to become an expert on that section. So ones, you're going to look at, this is going to be individually right now. You're going to read by yourself the Missouri Compromise and the Nullification Crisis. Twos are going to read the Compromise of 1850 and the Kansas-Nebraska Act. Threes are going to do Dred Scott decision and the formation of the Republican Party. And lastly, fours are going to do the election of 1860, secession begins, and the attack on Fort Sumter. So by yourselves right now, you're going to read through the links that I provided for you, and you are going to, on the blank sheet of paper, just make notes of that. Right now, all you're doing is just making notes. You're not writing anything on that graphic organizer yet. You're just using that to get the link so you can read about the event that I assigned to you. So again, ones, you're going to do Missouri Compromise and Nullification Crisis. Twos, Compromise of 1850 and the Kansas-Nebraska Act. Threes, the Dred Scott decision and the formation of the Republican Party. And fours, you're going to do the election of 1860, secession begins, and the attack on Fort Sumter. So things you should be writing on your blank sheet of paper as you are reading through the different passages that I gave you. You should be looking for when this event happened, who was involved, and what happened. Just making little bullet points on your piece of paper. So later on, I'll tell you what you're going to do with that. But all you're doing right now is writing on your blank piece of paper different information that you will find in that passage about the event that you're assigned to. So go ahead and do that quietly now. And I'm going to walk around and answer any questions. If you have questions, I'm going to be monitoring how far you're getting on this. So you have about, read over this. You got about 5 to 8 minutes to do that by yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. Great job, everybody, working on that and making progress on the different areas that you're assigned to. So now as you were working, you see that I came around and I labeled each one of your tables or groups areas number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4. So whenever I tell you to do so, what you're going to do is, if you're 1, you're going to go to the table or group area that's labeled 1. If you're number 2, you're going to go to the area that's labeled number 2. If you're number 3, you're going to go to that area. And number 4, you're going to go to the area that's labeled number 4. But you're not doing anything right now until I tell you to do so. When you move over to your designated area with all of the people that have the same number as you, you are going to take your sheet of paper that you wrote your notes on, and you're also going to take your graphic organizer with you. So I need everybody to go ahead and move to the area that is labeled with the number that you're assigned. Go ahead and do that now. Right on. I need everybody with their group in 5 seconds. You got 5 seconds to be there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now all the number 1s are together, the number 2s are together, the number 3s are together, and all the number 4s are together. You guys are going to fill out, you're going to discuss it together, and you're going to fill out the graphic organizer based on the event that you were assigned to read. So you're going to fill out the when, and then you're going to explain in your own words what happened. Each group has filled out their graphic organizer. What we're going to do now is you're going to get back with your original group. So once I tell you to do so, you got 5 seconds to get back with your original group. Let's go. Let's do that now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now that you guys are back in your original groups, what you're going to do is the person that was assigned one is going to explain their section to you. And you guys as a group, you're going to go around and you're going to get your entire graphic organizer filled out as a group. So go ahead and do that. Everybody's going to take out their journals and they're going to reset the room. Take out the journals and reset the room as it was when you walked in. Your journals, you're going to answer the question in 3 complete sentences that says, of the events that caused the Civil War, which was the most significant in causing the war? So everyone, make sure your name is on your graphic organizer and do not activity, and you'll turn that in when the bell rings.